Good day and great light, illuminators and way showers. Thanks for hanging out with me once again. I'm Wendy. This is my workshop. And as always, I am so excited to share an infinite number of things with all of you. And today I'm feeling very pinky, happy April to everybody. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're celebrating the springtime, and I know in the you're celebrating fall in the Southern Hemisphere. So whatever, when and where you are, I hope this finds you in, once again, the ecstasy of Ascension. And one of the things that, if you are not new to my channel, and if you are, hi, thanks for stopping by. I'm Wendy. And I also love sharing the language of light with all of you, and how everything to me in the cosmos speaks its own language of light. Whether it's colors, sounds, planets, beings, all things cosmic. Everything has a voice, and everything is always interacting with us and sending us messages, and especially numbers. You know that between the sacred circuitry that was brought to us through Bashar, which, if you're not familiar with, please do. If it resonates with you, do look it up. And I've got lots of videos. You can search on my channel for sacred circuitry, and how all of that changed my life. And we've brought this up many times, so I did want to talk a little bit about that today as well. But one of the things I really, and this is just another impromptu thing today. Today being, so as I record this, it's April 2nd, 2025. And immediately I saw, which I got my little whiteboard out here again. So immediately I noticed the twos, 222, and I thought, wow, 6 energy. And then of course 4 and 2, 6 energy. And then the 9, of course, the 6 and the 9, and the number 9 year. So but what really stood out with me was the twos. And as I added up the date, it equals 6. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's 222. So as I was looking at the energies, okay, so this is what, one of the ways that our consciousness speaks to us, because this is part of our arrangement, is through numbers. And part of, I believe, our whole awakening process is how we interact and mingle with numbers, and repeating numbers, and what they mean to us, our birthdays. Because remember, we pick our day, we pick our birthdays, right? We pick our anniversaries, we pick these days and dates on a cosmic level for a variety of vibrational reasons. And I could feel the angel energy coming in. So let me just begin. Also, let me interject that I'm feeling this very loving pink energy in honor of all the flowers that have been popping up. And I did another flower video yesterday on my Hourglass Oracle YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked that out and checked out those videos, dedicated to just Oracle and whatever Oracle messages come through. So I'm still in that, in that flower energy. And but I was feeling this angelic energy this morning, and I didn't even realize, the date yet, or hadn't even, looked into this at all. So and again, I just sat down at my desk to do some other things, and my guides pop up and say, hey. So there's and 15 is the sacred symbol for manifest, the sacred circuit. So I've got the sacred circuits right here too, and so I'll show you that in just a moment, because it's kind of part of today's whole kind of message that they've been nudging me to extrapolate and expand upon. So today's date, the 2 6s is what I was seeing, and then of course we've got the 5 for humanity, the number 7. There's a lot of numerological messages for us when we really start to look at how we co-create the dates. And so with that said, all the 666 energy, and it was like, oh, 666. Well, we all have this predetermined idea, I think, of what that may mean. And so immediately I look it up, the 666 angel number, and I always use the Joanne Sacred Scribes. This site has been my go-to for a long time, many years, and I'll post the link to it. It's Joanne Sacred Scribes, and every time I see these repeating numbers, I love to go to her site because I'm looking at it on another device. But if you look, I'll just show you really quick here on here. But she's got all combinations of all numbers, and as you go along, you can pick, single digits, double digits. Every single number is in here that has an angelic resonance to it. And so immediately I go in to look at, and it goes all the way up to 4 digits. It's an amazing site, I will say. And so a lot of the information that I've received over the years. So anyway, I was looking up 666, and I encourage you to do so as well, because, for any time you've got these resonating numbers. And if you are new to my channel too, I've also put together a few journals, which you can purchase through Amazon through my website, where it encourages us to look at the repeating numbers, or any numbers really, that stand out to us, that send us a message, and what are we thinking at the time? Or maybe what is it that we want to build? What is it that maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a business, maybe you just want to become more confident, maybe you have an answer to, and then you're looking, and it comes in the gift wrap of repeating numbers, which leads us to look into the meaning behind it in the path. And of course, you're going to find all kinds of meanings everywhere. But today I really wanted to focus on the angel representation of this number. And the gist of it is honesty, integrity, charity, humanity, service to humanity, the interpretations of which, for me, are expanding what it is, expanding what it is that we want to do, and walking in complete honesty and integrity doing it. And when we say charity, what is our service to humanity? And we can look at it we often look at charity as expecting nothing in return. Well, that is unconditional love. That is the vibration. Charity is the vibration of unconditional love, saying, I'm going to serve humanity in whatever way excites me. And that is my gift, my charity, in which I expect nothing in return. Yet I know that by putting myself out there in honesty and in integrity, that we know that vibration, then, because we know laws of existence, what we put out is what we get back. The vibration, the images, the thought, the self thoughts, all of that we put out there is what we get back as a reflection. And the more we do things in honesty and integrity and charity, and in the essence of human service, because when we're doing something that we are passionate about, even if it's building fences, it comes to us in repeated form by seeing repeating numbers, or sequences of numbers that mean something to us. And thank you for your question about 1001. 1001 to me, and maybe I didn't, if I can even elaborate a little bit, what I immediately see and I'm actually covered in goosebumps right now. angel bumps. I see that 1001 as, and I'm going to write it out right now just because we're talking about it, and it's 2, so if we're looking at it from a 1 and 1 is 2, that's a vibration of 2 as well. And when I see it, I see like these pillars standing here, and maybe I can make the ones a little bit more, fancy. But I see them as pillars of light on each side of the numbers, and to me, the zeros. And when I see the zeros, I think of that, yes, being in that 0 point, being at that place where everything, where you're at that center point. God, I am literally, my hairs are standing up on my arms. The center point in which all of us connect. And it really resonates with me, myself, at the center point, because I chose to be born under the sun sign of Sagittarius, the 11th month. So that resonates with me highly. My birth date is an 11 master number. And so that has always resonated with me deeply. And 1111, if you guys have been watching me for a little while, you know that how much 1111 means to me. Dave and I were married on 1111, 2022. So there's a whole nother 11 and 11. And that was on purpose, of course. So I see that, the pillars of light, and then I say flanked, but I see this more as a cosmic way of then the zeros being the all knowledge, all knowing, the wholeness of everything. And of course, I also see it, as kind of this infinite, the infinite of, when we see 11, we know that we're tapping into the infinite stream of intelligence, and of which we are all got our toes in. All of us have our toes in it. And so this really came out to me strongly today. So if it resonates with you, again, I'll put the link to that, to her site. And a lot of the stuff too, I post, if you're not familiar, on the post page here on my YouTube channel, I post a lot of, it happens to me all the time on the clock. I swear, I just pick up my phone, and you guys know how it is. It just, synchronicity is the rule. And so I post these numbers all the time because they, and the dates and the times, because they just carry this, I don't know why, this vibration of light. And even the light codes of information that flow through these angelic, galactic, interdimensional, extra-dimensional languages. Yakota Vespasia, Toshea, Nazima, Sotofeshi, Ijanoke, Kiazana, Sivashote, is more and more of us knowing more of ourselves, and the dates, and why did we choose the dates that we did for whatever reason, and always remembering that anytime it excites something in you, it's something to take a pause and say, okay, I'm acknowledging this moment. And we have a journal that says that too, of writing down your numbers, and also the repeating numbers, and 1111, and acknowledging this moment, appreciating this moment, and allowing for the expansion of the appreciation and acknowledgement of this moment. And I know that through my guides have explained to me that that is one of the reasons why we use these numbers for stepping stones to our path, to remind us that yes, you're following your joy in an integrity, and you're doing it from a place of self-empowerment, self-love, that doing the things that excite us. I have found, sorry, I stumble on my words sometimes. I have found that oftentimes what we feel as fear is really excitement wrapped in belief systems that are not serving us anymore. And that, doing it scared, that idea is just simply doing the thing that excites you and realizing that the fear evaporates as soon as you do. As soon as you, I always hated speaking in public, and yet it turned out to be something in my life, and even at a very young age I ended up having to do. And so it was clearly a stepping stone of my own path. And I've always been 1111. It's been something that's been a part of me like all my life, and I never understood why until I started looking into what does 1111 mean, and oh my gosh, I'm a light worker, and what does that mean, and all of that. So I catch these timestamps when I'm looking. Sometimes I glance at the time on the video, and even that gives me pause for a moment. So I wanted to share with you, if you're not familiar with these, and you can actually purchase the Bashar event in which these were first brought to us, to humanity, the sacred circuits from Sirius, and I can put the link to that as well if you're not familiar with any of this at all. But I wanted to expand a little bit on the sacred circuits today. Oh,
it's 11:11.
Oh, is it? No way. Are you kidding? Mm-hmm. Okay. We just now talked about 11:11.
Dave, sacred circuits.
And Dave was in a meeting, and all of a sudden he comes in, and we were just talking about 11:11. And I was just ready to talk about a little bit more about the sacred circuits. So, do you got to go back to work, or you got to take a seat? Or
excuse me for interrupting, but I have to come in.
We do this every day at 11:11. If we happen to see it on the clock, which we most often do, and we have to. It's our moment. We have to kiss. And as I said, you guys, I just said a moment ago, this is Dave, if you haven't met him yet, that we were married on 11/11, 2022. So anyway, there you go. See, there's another synchronicity for all of you, even for 11/11. So I was thinking about a question that someone had about the impact that the sacred circuits had on me, and expanding on that. And one of the most profound things was I started getting downloads and downloads of all of these symbols and light codes and circuitry and sacred geometry, and I was dreaming about it, and I just started getting downloads about and drawing them and drawing them and drawing them, and I've been drawing them and sharing them for the last 10 years on this channel. And we also, Dave and I also expand on more extraterrestrial contact types of things on our channel, Open Contact TV, which there's links for that as well. So we go into a little bit more of this, and the powers of 9 and the councils of 9, because all of this is related. All of these things are connected and related. So I grabbed one of the journals that I was talking about. This is one of our weekly planners, and it's covered in some of the symbols, and each page is a different set of symbols. For example, I'll open to a page here. And every page for the week has a different set of galactic symbols, which you can, look at, meditate on, use them, any way you want, copy them, put them anywhere you want. And the idea is to write down any signs, symbols, and synchronicities that you may have. Then it's laid out by the week, and things to manifest, and then some notes. And it being that it's a weekly planner, it's not dated, because any week you just start, and that's your 52 weeks. So, but the point is that the symbols that started coming through as a result of using the sacred circuitry have, over the last 10 years, really activated me and a lot of other people. And now you're seeing a lot of other people painting them and drawing them and writing them. And there was very few people, like maybe 2, I think, anywhere that I could find 10, 11 years ago when it started happening with me. So I didn't have any frame of reference. I didn't have anybody to turn to or talk to about it. So that's one of the things I love doing on this channel, well, on all the channels, is to have open and private Zoom hangouts where we can talk about the stuff and your experiences. So if you prefer it to be private, so we do different ones. We do live ones, we do private ones, we do public recordings, that kind of thing. So, and then the other one was the 1111 book. So to encourage us to write down, and this is my personal one, so I've got all my personal notes in here, but basically it's broken down into what number did you see? What synchronicities did you experience? What were you feeling? What did it mean to you? And then another page for, how do you see it as guidance? And then there's the I'll acknowledge, appreciate, and allow at the bottom. So I know there's always new people coming to the channel, so I wanted to just let you all know kind of the story behind the journals, why they're there, that they are there for purchase. And they come in soft and hardcover. And so one of the numbers that, of course, for the number 9 for 2025 is the number 9, as we've talked about in other videos with the Council of 9, is receive. So all of the information that I bring through is my highest joy and excitement, and for you to receive, and then, as we said, what you put out, what you get back, for then me to receive more and more guidance for myself by sharing these and how they've helped me acknowledge and appreciate and allow more and more of all that I am, and the channeling and the excitement about bringing oracle and the shamanism, how my own shaman, my own inner shaman, and how that gets expressed. And so all of these things are connected. Even our indigenous peoples had connections to the star people. And I believe that these symbols are also, you see them repeated in different, like Native American cultures and literature and other symbols across the world. And so, for example, they wanted me to start expanding on this a little bit. Expand. Well, that's funny. Number 2 is expand. So, for example, today's date is 4/2/2025. So we can expand this out into sort of like a message for all of us every single day. If we actually look at each symbol for the day, for the date, it will tell us a story. And this is something I've really been, the Sirians and the Pleiadians, a lot of my star families have been guiding me to talk more about. And I was going to expand on this also on the Open Contact TV YouTube channel, but now is now. And this is where they wanted me to begin. And I was going to begin yesterday, but today is where it happened. And so the idea is we've got the number 4, which is prepare. You've got number 2, which is expand. And then, of course, we've got another 2 and another 2 and another 2. So if we can look at it as preparing to expand and expand and expand in a big way, because we've got the 4 and then the 2 and then the 2 and the 2. This is what they've been showing me. And I'm getting goosebumps again. So the idea of preparing to expand and expand and expand, and then so we got 20, 25, and then the 5. The 5, express. Prepare to expand and express yourself in a new way. Now, of course, the date, the 2025 is always going to be 2025. It's always going to be 9. However, how it dances with the other numbers is the message, is that day's message. And on my Languages of Light's webpage, the very first page for today's date, every day's date, it shows the sacred circuit for that date and what the meaning is for that circuit. so you can tap into that energy and really immerse yourself in that energy. So we got the 20. So then we know that today's date equals 15. 15 is manifest. And we talked about the sixes today, the energy of the sixes. Extend. So we can look at it as preparing to expand and extend ourselves, to manifest the things we want to manifest. And that is like the whole message in its string. And every single day that will change, of course. And I'm just excited. I'm telling you guys, my hairs are standing up because I'm so tapped into their energy right now. And I can feel the Council of Nine with me. I can feel them with us. And the receiving of this information and how it expands us. How these symbols, when we use them as a story every day to help us live a more clear and joyous life in tap with our true core vibrations, and to assist us through this ascension process, which, again, extraterrestrial open contact is they are mutually exclusive with ascension. Yet, for us, they're intertwined in a big way. And so whether it's, then we come back, I'm coming back full circle to the idea of angel messages. And how do the angelic realms come into play with all of this? Well, of course they do, because they are the first the first receivers and the first mirrors of Source itself. When Source wanted to know itself, and it began creating all of this and all of us and all of that and all the realms, simply as, well, not simply, but as a way for it to know itself. That is God learning itself through all of us. And when we learn more about all of ourselves and our prismatic selves, when we expand, we receive in ways that, and remember, we are infinite. This receiving and this excitement and this expansion and this ecstatic energy never, ever, ever ends. That is the beauty of it. It never ends. So we use these numbers as portals, as our own vortexes of sending and receiving information. Even when I look out and see a tree blooming, something happens to me. I get something from it. We all do. We receive the languages of lights through all of this. And I was just reminded too, as I was glancing over, I did these symbols on January 8th, and I was really tapping into the councils of nine. But these are some of the symbols that I've been sharing throughout the years of things that come through and that I express, also and through my artwork, which is also for purchase. And all of this, there's this light, there's this galactic, interdimensional, extra-dimensional energy that pours through this information through me, and my excitement, exuberance to share it all, and how it is messages from our galactics, messages to help us connect and ascend and move through the day-to-day stuff. That's how it all comes back down to earth, is, it metaphysical is just physicalness, outer physical world that we're just not aware of yet. It's beyond our physical understanding. That's all. It's just we don't know what we don't know yet. And I feel like all of this information swirling around, and my excitement and sharing and you guys receiving it really is empowering humanity to, I want to even say, accelerate this, this moving to another version of reality Earth that we all want to be on. And by addressing and acknowledging our belief systems that are uh, anything less than empowering, anything less than empowering, in every way of our lives, in every way of our lives. So I hope that today, in this workshop talk, and incorporating all of this information, there's no one thing, there's no one answer, there's no one simple thing. Everything, each and every one of us are going to resonate, just like that date. Every single day these messages are going to resonate with us, and we can apply them, and we apply the meaning to them the way that we want to apply the meaning to them every day. And how we navigate together through all of that by these sharings. So I'm always excited to spend time with you. If you're unfamiliar with my channel or my website, please take a few moments to take a look at it. I offer quite a bit of different types of all of this information like this I do in personal sessions, including oracle readings. All of this kind of goes into the whole session. And then there's also a page for the Hourglass Oracle where it's simply just oracle reading, just an oracle reading. So that's available as well. So there's a lot of different aspects and avenues and pathways that Ascension takes for all of us. And each one is going to be very unique. And whatever I'm sharing is because somebody, in some way, on some level, whether you're conscious of it or not, are receiving that information. Nizimiato, Shanvijana Konteba Lavasmate, Ejana Tunga, Sha Shanante. Izanatovation my Emayamarma Kiteva, Sovasho, Kiandadisimeto, Ikanda, Sapato, Savasha. So if you're interested in these kind of workshops, getting together, going, expanding on this in your own personal life, please do reach out. Let me know in the comments, contact me on my website, because it always encourages me to know that if you're excited about it, that I am willing and excited also to create the environment and the space in which to do that in. And it's always something that Dave and I both really love to do on all of our channels with all of the different information. And so different things come out, different channelings, different entities and energies and vibrations. It's always a surprise. And there's always synchronicities for everyone, every single time, no matter what. It has never not happened. It has never not happened that there haven't been profound, maybe even life-altering inspirations and changes and synchronicities through these sessions, gatherings, hangouts, whatever, however we choose to do it. And if you've got a group of friends that would like to do a hangout with us, with me and Dave, doing all of this and pulling cards for you, please just reach out on the website. I'm excited to see and hear from you, and more build this community of like minds. Yeah, don't go say miata. I love you guys. Yeah, show. Thank you. This has been a little bit longer than I anticipated, but sometimes the spirits and the information, they don't live in time. They don't live in time. So as the channeler, we take the moment, we take the inspiration, we take that opportunity and that spontaneous moment to receive the message and share the message in the most highly vibrational way and now moment that we can. And we're being encouraged right now by our guides to stop hesitating. Stop hesitating to be yourself, to share, to just say, hey, I've got this message in my mind. I'm just going to share it. Maybe it's 5 seconds. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's just for you. Maybe it's for a family member. The list goes on. So from my heart, my highly vibrational workshop here, I invite you to explore more of all that you are through all of these tools, of divination. Yeah, cool. I love you, Gala.